Test.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for standing by. You're going to be blessed today. We're going to open with the song, I Have Decided to Follow Jesus. There's no turning back. There's no turning back. Everybody singing, I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back home, no turning back. The world behind me, the cross before me, the world behind me, the cross before me, the world behind me, the cross before me, no turning back. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back, no turning back, no turning back. Oh, no, no turning back. Come on, y'all. No turning back. Oh, no, no turning back. Thank you.
Let's just stand for a word of prayer, and we will begin after prayer. Our Father and our friend, again, we thank you so very much for your love and your mercy. This afternoon, Father, again, we pray for your Holy Spirit to again open our minds and our hearts and our understanding. We thank you for our speaker, Dr. Berean. Lord, continue to be with him, Lord, as he leads your people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. This time we'll turn things over to the good doctor.
Thank you so much. As per my request this morning, is there anyone here who is not a Seventh-day Adventist? Raise your hand, please. If you're not a Seventh-day Adventist, I have a gift for you. Who? No, I didn't say point. I said raise your hand. You're not a Seventh-day Adventist? Come up here. I have a gift for you. Come this way. My wife has two gifts for you. One is the bread of life. This is it. There's more. This is all the books, the Bible text. So every morning when you get up, take one text and use it for that day. Also, we have this here for you. And are you an elder? Is there an elder in the church? Any elder, a female elder preferably. Is there a female elder? Is there a female elder? Okay. These are Amazing Facts Bible studies. I'm going to link you. I'm going to hold on to this. Stay right here. I need elder. I want an elder to come. I need a female elder to. No. Come up here. I want you to find a female elder because she's downstairs and introduce this young lady to her and help her with these Amazing Facts Bible studies. Okay. So he's going to talk to you about getting Bible study, okay? Okay, go ahead. So get name and phone number and all address. Okay. Are you her husband? Praise the Lord. Do you mind if we do this? All right. Now, this is very important. If and when she's baptized, I want you to come to, listen, if and when she's baptized, I want to come for the baptism.
I'll bring up to meet you. Okay.
If and when she's baptized, I want to come up here for the baptism. So I need to know about that, okay? Remember, Pentecost 2025 began in January. Okay, so, anybody else here who is not a Seventh-day Adventist, just tell me. I have lots of gifts. Who came the furthest? And don't say Jamaica. You came an hour here? You took an hour to get here? Anybody took more than an hour to get here? How long did you take? 8 hours. Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? Okay, well, I have a gift for you. Come in here. But let's give her the, would you like one of these, I want to give that to, they have prizes. Give me the Bible, this one. Give me that. Would you like one of these? Do you have one of these? It's our daily bread. You've seen it before? You came there, okay. I'll be giving out gifts during this service, so this is not the last time you'll hear from me. Okay. Let's talk about heart healthy. What makes a heart healthy? Well, scientific speaking, a healthy heart has an ejection fraction of 50 or more percent. What does that mean? Have any of you done an echocardiogram of your heart, where they put this machine and they do an ultrasound of your heart? That's an echocardiogram, where it determines how healthy the heart is. When the heart pumps, at least 50% of the blood in the heart should be pumped out. It really should be 60%, but we accept 50% or more. So when the heart pumps, 50% of that blood should be pumped out. That's a healthy heart. If the ejection fraction is 50% or 60%, you have a good, healthy heart. If the ejection fraction goes down to 45%, you have cardiomyopathy, or a bad heart, which can be caused by a heart attack or enlarged heart or other causes. So scientifically speaking, a healthy heart has an ejection fraction above 50%. So when you go to your doctor, you need to ask him or her, what is my ejection fraction? Come, ask me. Ask me. I'm your doctor. Dr. Barry, what is? And immediately, the doctor will say, whoa, I have an intelligent patient here. So You need to ask your doctor. Don't just let him say, oh, it's fine. I want to know a number. If it's 50% or above, ejection, it's called a left ventricular ejection fraction. Left ventricular ejection fraction should be above 50%. Now, if it is less than 50%, it means that something has happened to your heart. It could be damaged from congestive heart failure, from heart attack, from high blood pressure. So, heart attack. Okay, the vessels that go to the heart should be open like this, correct? Well, cholesterol blocks the vessel. Do you see what's happening to the hole? Can you see what's happening to the hole? What is happening to the hole? It's getting clogged up. Thank you, Mrs. Berry. It gets clogged up. Cholesterol clogs the hole. And if the hole is more than 75% clogged, a blood clot can form, which can go to the heart and stop the heart from beating. So our goal should be to decrease that blockage of cholesterol. Now, guess what the liver produces every day? Yes. The liver produces cholesterol. It produces enough cholesterol for the body. But what do? I loved our dessert this afternoon. Do you think I'm perfect? I love the dessert. We eat too much cholesterol. And where does the cholesterol go? The excess cholesterol will go. The excess cholesterol goes into blocking those arteries of the brain, the neck, and the heart, or into what? Fat cells. So, our goal, and by the way, does the body need cholesterol? The body has to have cholesterol because every cell of your body has a membrane. And guess what's in this membrane? Cholesterol. The body needs cholesterol for hormones, for enzymes, all these chemicals that the body produces. It needs cholesterol, but it produces enough cholesterol. So our goal is to decrease the amount of cholesterol we take in, because that cholesterol goes in storage or in blockages. Okay. A study was done about 15 years ago, I think by Duke University, where they had individuals who had blockages of their neck veins, the artery that goes to the brain. Remember, the brain is supplied by 4 arteries, one here, and 2 in the back. Well, they took individuals who had blockages of these arteries here by 75%. If your blockage is 75% blocked or more, according to science, you should have a surgery to remove the blockage, 75% or more. Well, they put this study group into two categories. One, they went for surgery. The other one, they put them on a vegan diet for 1 year. So, blockages of the carotid artery, they put an experiment. One did surgery, the other went on a vegan diet. Guess what happened after a year to the ones who had surgery? They came back. Guess what happened to the ones who had a vegan diet? It decreased by 50% in 1 year. The blockage decreased by 50%, and this is why. If you are on a vegan diet, you don't eat eggs, milk, cheese, butter, or any animal meat. No eggs, no milk, no cheese, no butter, and I'll talk about it in a little while. So where does the body get its cholesterol it needs? The liver produces some, but the body searches for cholesterol to fulfill what it needs. And guess where it found it? In the blocked artery. They removed the cholesterol from the blocked artery to make cell membranes. So the blockage decreased by 50% by just being on a vegan diet. Let's talk about vegan vegetarianism. There are 3 different types of vegetarians. Do you know what they are? Lacto-ovo, vegan, and there's one called pescatarian. Okay. I don't know why they call it a vegetarian diet, but anyway. The lacto-ovo vegetarian is a vegetarian that does not eat meat at all, but eats the product of animals, like eggs, milk, cheese, and butter. That's the lacto-ovo. Lacto are Latin words for milk and eggs. The vegan is a vegetarian that doesn't even eat the products of animals. No eggs, no milk, no cheese, no butter, no animal meat. And the pescatarian is a vegetarian that substitutes meat for fish. So they don't eat eggs, milk, cheese, butter, but they eat fish. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, which I asked you about 2 years ago. Let's see if you learned. There was a study, and it's a continuous study done at Loma University that studied over, I think it's 75,000 individuals. Most of them were Adventists. Out of these 75,000, they said, which is best for you? which makes you live longer and healthier? A vegan, pescatarian, or a lacto-ovo? Which do you think came out first? Okay. Okay, so remember, lacto-ovo eats no meat but has eggs, milk, cheese, and butter. Okay. Hey, hold on. A vegan doesn't even eat the products of animals. No eggs, milk, cheese, butter, or animal meat. And the pescatarian does not eat eggs, milk, cheese, and butter, but has fish to substitute. Pescatarian. So out of all those three, which seem to live longer and healthier? All those who say pescatarian, raise their hand. All those who say vegan, raise your hand. All those who say lacto-ovo, raise your hand. But believe it or not, according to the study so far, which is ongoing, the pescatarians did better. And I'll tell you why. We believe the pescatarians do better because a vegan diet lacks vitamin B12 and omega-3 fatty acids. And omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin B12 are necessary for the body's metabolism and function. So far, no, let me put it back here. All three of them did significantly better than meat eaters. Let's make that plain. The pescatarian, the lacto-ovo, and the vegan did significantly better. Their lifespan was better. Prostate cancer, colon cancer, ovarian cancer, and breast cancer were less in those groups that were vegetarians, those three groups, than those who were omnivores or ate meat. So to become a vegetarian, choose one of those three. But of those three, it appears that the pescatarians so far are doing better because the fish has the vitamin B12 and the omega-3 fatty acids, yes. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about it because that's important. Why do all these vegetarian foods in the supermarket have so much sodium in it? They have to have the sodium. But does that mean that you have to eat the sodium? What does my wife do when, is it Vegilings? Is it those hot dogs, Vegilings? What does my wife do when she cooks some Vegilings for me? She pours out the thing and washes, yes. She washes off the sodium so that we can eat it. But you have to have the sodium in those cans. But you don't have to eat the sodium because sodium is bad for you. And we'll talk about that. But still, a vegetarian diet seems to do better because it makes you live longer, but not only live longer, healthier longer, okay? So my recommendation for you is to choose one of those, vegan, lacto-ovo, or pescatarian. My wife and I, at least once a month, go, if I take her out, which I'm supposed to do that, when I take her out, we go and we get some, salmon. Wild caught cod. Salmon, you see? But wild caught, why is that important? It's fresh. Yeah, it's not raised in a pool where it can have disease. Okay. It's natural. And we have that at least once a month. Not too much, because if you have too much fish, what is the problem? Mercury. Nothing is perfect in this world. I need to stress this. Nothing is perfect in this world. But we need to do the best we can until Christ comes and we live in heaven forever. We can't, Jamaicans, listen to carefully, especially Jamaicans. You can't go to heaven and go around the tree of life thinking that you find a goat and get some curry goat. You just cannot do that. It's not allowed. Get some curry goat in the new heaven. Curry goat. Americans won't understand that. Jamaicans will love that.
My question is, if you're vegan, can you take the supplements?
Okay, if you're a vegan and take fish oil, aren't you a pescatarian? If you're a vegan and take fish oil, you're really a pescatarian, aren't you? Because you might as well eat the fish. So, yes, the answer to this question is yes. You can take vitamin B12 supplements, and you can also take fish oil. But then my question to you is, if you're doing that, then maybe you are a pescatarian. But that's a good question. Flaxseed. Oh, we're going to talk about antioxidants. So the first part of this question is that you need to become a vegetarian because I want you to be healthy. Who was here for my sermon? I'm telling you that we have a work to do, and being sick in the bed in the hospital, so it's not going to help us. So Vegetarians as a whole, all three of them together, suffer less from heart attack, stroke, cancer of the colon, prostate cancer, and breast cancer. But suffer significantly less. Okay, any questions for that part? Okay. How would you like to know how to live longer and healthier? 10 ways. Okay. I'm going to give you 10 ways to live a healthier life, and I'm going to tell you that 6 of those ways we're already doing as Adventists. So all you really have to do is worry about 4. But I'm going to give you 10, but I'm going to tell you right now, 6 of these ways we're already doing. So all the other folks, okay, so number 1, to live longer. Why did I have to put this at number 1? Lose weight. Now, whenever I talk about lose weight, there's always a skinny person in the back says, oh, that's so easy, I can do it all the time. Yes, you can, but I have difficulty losing weight. And many of you do also. It is very hard. However, according to the Mayo Clinic, published in 1995, if you lose weight, 10% of your body weight, you not only live longer, but live healthier. How can you lose weight? Can I tell you how you can lose 3 pounds a week in 2 weeks? Okay. If you want to lose 3 pounds a week in 2 weeks, do these 5 things. Number 1, no bread, milk, cheese, or butter in any form. No milk, bread, cheese, or butter in any form. No bread, milk, cheese, or butter in any form. No bread, milk, cheese for 2 weeks. No bread, milk, and what is that bread that we use?
Okay, yeah.
Some people say, what about cornbread? No bread, milk, just for 2 weeks. Almond milk is very good for you, but if you want to lose the weight for this 2 weeks, no bread, milk, cheese, but that's number 1. Number 2, nothing white. If it's white, don't eat it. What? Well, bread, you can't eat bread because no potatoes. What about yellow potatoes?
Where's the mic?
What about, is it the orange potatoes? Sweet potatoes? No sweet potatoes. No. So no eggs, no bread, milk, cheese, or butter. Nothing white. No white rice, no potatoes, no pasta. Number 3, you got to drink 3 16 ounces of water a day. 3 or 4. 16 ounces of water a day. Do you know why you have to drink water? But yeah, if you stick to this change of lifestyle or this diet, you're going to have poisons developing in your body.
Yeah.
And if you don't get rid of the poisons, you're going to get kidney stones and gallstones. So you got to flush your system. You got to flush the kidneys out. 3 to 4, 16 ounces of water a day. So no bread, milk, cheese, or butter in any form. This is just for 2 weeks. Oh, Charlene, I got to tell you this. Do not do anything I say unless you have a doctor supervising this. Because I do not know your history. You could have diabetes. You could have take medications that are contraindications. So don't do anything I say unless you consult your doctor, which you should be doing to help you lose weight. So no bread, milk, cheese, or butter in any form. Nothing white. 3 to 4, 16 ounces a day. Number 4 is you fast on Wednesday afternoon. Yes, ma'am. Gaining weight? Huh? You want to gain weight? Well, I can tell you that after. I know a lot of weight. I could write a whole book on that. Oh, no, that's not a problem in my and many of us. You're blessed if you want to gain weight. But hold on. So no bread, milk, cheese, about any form. Nothing white. You need to fast on Wednesday afternoon. Now, fast on Wednesday afternoon. Why do I choose Wednesday? Well, that's true. What do you do after work on Wednesday? Prayer meeting. You see, on this diet, you're going to be dying to eat. And if you fast on Wednesdays, you go to prayer meeting and stay as long as you can. Pray to the Lord as long as you can. Help them close the church down. Because when you go home, you're going to go straight to bed. If you didn't go to prayer meeting, what would you do when you go home?
Eat.
So I chose to my patient, tell my patients, you fast from noon on Wednesday till Thursday morning. So go to prayer meeting, and this Zoom thing doesn't work because the fridge is right by the Zoom camera. So you fast on Wednesday afternoon. And the fifth one, is that the fifth? That was the fourth? The fifth one is you weigh yourself every Thursday morning in your underwear. So every Thursday morning, you weigh yourself. And I assure you, the first Thursday, you can lose sometimes 5 pounds, but that's not fat. Some of that could be just water weight. So I'll go over it again. So no bread, milk, cheese, or butter. Nothing white. You drink 3 to 4 16 ounces of water a day. And I need to talk about that. You fast on Wednesday afternoon, and you weigh yourself Thursday morning. Now, what? Wheat? Sweet? Well, sugar is white. Thank you so much. There was a study that was published about 6 months ago in JAMA, General Medical Association, and it shows that individuals who drink 16 ounces of water before they go to bed suffer less from a heart attack and stroke than those who did not. So drinking a glass of water before you go to bed decreases your risk of having a heart attack and stroke, because most heart attacks and strokes occur between 3 and 8 o'clock in the morning because the blood is more sluggish then because you're dehydrated. So it is essential to drink at least 1 16-ounce of water before you go to bed. Now, what does that mean to men? What's going to happen? I would rather get up and use the bathroom than have a stroke or a heart attack. So forgive me if I'm telling you this. So it is important for you to drink lots of water, especially 1 16-ounce before you go to bed. What? Hot water. Tea. Fluids. Fluids. Yeah, fluids. But it's not going to keep you up? Okay. Just as long as it's 16 ounces. Now, yes, ma'am. I was just about to talk about that. What did I want today after lunch? What type of water? Oh, yes. No, I wanted ice cold water. When you drink it, it goes down, it soothes your whole body, and your mind feels ready. It takes away this heat. Is cold water good for you?
No.
Why did you tell me that? Why did you tell me that? I wanted some ice cold water. Why is ice cold water bad for you?
I want to know why.
Oh, okay, two questions. Why is ice cold water bad for you? And 2, why should you not drink water at all while you're eating? You should have it half an hour before or half an hour after. Why? Yes. It slows digestion. Hydrochloric acid. Oh, you guys are trained. Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
First, the liquids dilute the gastric juices. Then
There
your
you
body
go.
has to process the water before it can process the solids.
That's the reason. There are enzymes in the stomach, and there's a pH, a certain acidity of the stomach. If you drink some water that lowers the pH, therefore the enzymes don't function. So you should not drink. No, did I say I do this? So you should do what I say. Do exactly what I say. You got it? But man, that ice cold water, not what I do. I am not perfect. You just have to ask my wife that. She will assure you that I'm not perfect. But scientifically speaking, you're absolutely correct. If you drink water while you're eating, it makes the pH or the acidity or alkalinity of the stomach go down. It go up really. So the enzymes don't function well. And if it's too cold, the body has to warm the water up, and some enzymes won't function either in that situation. So yes, if you have to drink half an hour before or half an hour after, not while you're eating. Does that answer your question? Yes, ma'am. pH is the acidity or alkalinity of a substance, if it's too acid or too alkaline. Some enzymes only function in a certain pH or acidity. So the stomach is acid, hydrochloric acid. Have you ever burped and felt this sour taste in your mouth? Well, that's acid. In fact, you have acid in your stomach that could burn out, make a rusty nail clean. Just like drinking Coca-Cola. Well, let's not talk about that. What? What's the question? Ice cold water because the body, but water is good. Ice cold means the body has to warm it up because it needs a certain temperature the body for function. The stomach is in a certain environment that it needs the enzyme to function in that environment.
Okay, so why when you drink tepid or warm water, it makes you feel sick? At least it makes me feel sick, and I can't drink no warm water.
Not when I say
mean,
warm, I say
room
body-
temperature.
Room temperature.
Room temperature.
water is fine.
But why would it make someone sick when they drink it? Because at least I can't drink it because it makes me sick. I have to get ice cold water.
Oh, I love that. I want to join you in this form a group. Let us form a group. I want to join that lady. I love ice cold water also, but it's not, scientifically speaking, according to the literature, it's not good for you. I got to tell you that. Okay. Just water alone? Just drinking water makes you sick? Then drink it a half an hour before you eat, or a half an hour after. You're part of our group. Okay, so number one, to help you live a healthier diet, healthier life, not just live a healthier life, but also live longer. One is what? Lose weight. And I've given you the equivalent to lose 3 pounds a week. Now, after that, you can add some stuff to it, but you need to lose weight at least according to the Mayo Clinic. Number two, exercise. Instead of parking at the door for Walmart, park a little further down the road and walk that way. Instead of sitting down in those buggies in Walmart and driving around and killing people on the way, use the tray thing and push it around. At home, if you have stairs, don't tell me it's too cold outside or it's too hot. Just go up and down the stairs twice or 3 times a day. You must engage in some sort of exercise program. Exercise will help you with your heart healthy and also to make you lose weight. To lose weight, though, you have to exercise at least for 20 to 30 minutes at least 3 times a week. 20 to 30 minutes at least 3 times a week. And what? Yes. Anything works. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't matter. Just do something. Keep moving. Keep moving. And it works. It works because it makes the heart healthier. So the first one was lose weight. 2, exercise. 3, this one is interesting. According to the Mayo Clinic, if you want to live longer, get your blood pressure under control, you've got to become a vegetarian. The Mayo Clinic said that in an article. The Mayo Clinic, not Adventist, not Loma Linda, not Andrews University, the Mayo Clinic says, if you want to live longer and healthier and happier, you've got to become a vegetarian. So, lose weight, exercise, yes. Go what?
What should a person who has 2 damaged lungs, suffering from lung fibrosis, you say walking up the stairs, or what would be your advice on that person?
Pulmonary fibrosis is something that's very chronic. However, by losing weight, it does put
Helps.
less. What's that?
It helps losing weight.
It would help.
How do you lose the weight, though? I mean, walking is strenuous.
You do as much as you can one day and then stop.
Okay.
The next day, try to do a little more. If you have short of breath, you stop. You engage in an exercise program that you know your limitations. But first of all, you don't do anything unless you talk to your doctor. So sometimes medications can be part of the problem, too.
I don't take it.
Okay, so the first one is lose weight. 2, exercise. 3, vegetarian diet. 4 is low sodium. You should not have more than 1,200 milliliters of sodium a day, African American men and women. 1,200, that's half a teaspoon. I didn't say tablespoon. I said teaspoon of salt a day.
I have a question about that, though. But how can you measure that when all the food
has sugar, salt, all these ingredients. And how am I going to measure that? And I say that because when we were on the Daniel fast, and I went to Trader Joe's, I'll say the name, everything has sugar, salt, sodium, all these things. And I thought I was shopping healthy, but it was the most unhealthiest shopping that I've ever done.
You go to McDonald's and one fries, well, you can see the salt on it. But we got to be careful. Don't go to McDonald's. Because if you can see the salt, you know it's going to be more than a teaspoon. But according to this, half a teaspoon, if we want to, especially in African Americans with our renin-angiotensin system, with our genetic, you have to have less than half a teaspoon of salt a day. Now, believe it or not, in the Caucasian population, it's 25 milliliters, 2,500, sorry. But we, 1,500. Our genetics. Renin-angiotensin system, okay. Does the body need sodium? Yes, half a teaspoon. The body needs sodium. If you don't have sodium, your body, muscles go into spasms, and your heart doesn't function. Okay. There's sodium in everything. There is sodium in everything. There's salt in everything. Sodium chloride. You use Dash. Okay. But there's sodium in foods. No. You will get, oh yes. Foods contain sodium. Yeah. Your body has to have sodium. Now, what about, some people say, what is that salt? Himalaya salt. That's salt from the Himalayas. You know, so you got to cut back on sodium, salt. Okay. So those were the 4 things. I told you there were 10 things, right? But those 4 we have to work on. The last 6, did you have a question? Go ahead.
Yes, I heard about the pink salt. Is it okay to use? It
Does
said
it
it's
end with
it's a
salt?
better one.
Is there salt in the word?
Yes, it is.
Pink
There's
salt,
salt.
Himalaya salt.
There's salt in the
It's
word.
salt
Sodium.
from pin, whatever that is. No, just be careful about the sodium content. Because why is sodium bad? Why is too much salt bad? When the body takes in too much salt, it tries to neutralize the salt by retaining water.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
that's why the blood pressure goes up. Too much salt in the body tries to neutralize it by retaining more water. And guess where the water settles to? Where does the water settle to that you're retaining? Your ankles. So you get ankle swelling because the body is trying to do its best to get rid of the salt. It takes 3 days. It takes 3 days for the body to get rid of the excess salt. And while it's doing that, it's retaining water, and the water settles to your
Toes,
ankles. That's why if
ankles.
you have congestive heart failure, they tell you don't
Wow.
eat salt. Yeah. You have a question?
No.
Okay, so where was I? Okay, so these are 4 things now that we need to work on: weight loss, exercise, vegetarian diet, low sodium diet. The last 6 we are doing already. According to the Mayo Clinic, if you want to live longer and be healthier, you should not drink any alcohol. Cha-ching! No alcohol. No problem? Okay, good, okay. Number 7, no tobacco. Cha-ching! No problem, okay. Number, what was that? That was 6?
7.
No, that's not 7 now. What? I said, no, that's
What? We didn't hear that.
you what?
We haven't heard that.
I said, you should not have any caffeine. Okay, there's something you should.
What?
What's wrong?
We can't hear you.
Are you guys going deaf or something? According to the Mayo Clinic, this is a hard one for me. A hard one for me. Lord help me. According
What
to
about
the Mayo
caffeine?
Clinic, live longer be healthier. What?
You said no alcohol. What about caffeine?
That's what I was trying to get at, number 7. According to the Mayo Clinic, they said that if you want to live longer and healthier, you're not supposed to have any caffeine. Have you ever drank, in a hot day, drank some cold Coca-Cola? Listen, I'm trying to explain it to you. Feel the cold Coca-Cola going down your throat and going into your stomach, and you hear the fizzy, 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 fizzy. Yes. I have been addicted to Coca-Cola, and I have a reason for it. You want to hear my reason? I'm a conference official who has to go and visit many churches, 200 churches in the next 5 years. And sometimes when I'm driving, I feel tired, and my wife is fast asleep. So I have to take care of the people of the church. So when I stop at a gas station, I drink some Coca-Cola to stay awake, to take care of the people, so I can get, the Lord knows I want to get there safely. And I want to be awake. So, well, I have not drank Coca-Cola for the past, 18 months? That's a miracle, let me tell you, because I do a lot of traveling. But according to the Mayo Clinic, if you want to live longer and healthier, the Mayo Clinic now, not Adventist, Melinda or Andrew, you got to not drink any caffeine. Caffeine is a downer. If you have insomnia, you don't drink caffeine. In all its forms. Now, what about decaffeinated coffee? Does decaffeinated coffee have caffeine? Yes, it does. I don't care, it's still a little. I can drink half a Coca-Cola for 1 cup. So, now this is true. Caffeine is what? Yeah. Now, don't talk about chocolate. The only chocolate that does not have caffeine is what? White chocolate or caramel. White chocolate doesn't have caffeine. Carob doesn't have caffeine. Now this is white chocolate has no caffeine because it's white. Caffeine is taken out. Black chocolate, that has caffeine. In fact, you can taste the caffeine in the dark chocolate. Well, put some dark chocolates in Coca-Cola and... So, to be truthful, cha-ching, we're not supposed to drink caffeine, okay? But so what do we drink? I want something warm, and I want something with my breakfast to be warm, but no caffeine. What do I drink? You're not supposed to answer that. I want them to answer. Postum or Roma. Postum is so expensive. On eBay. eBay and, very expensive. But you found it where? Where do you find it? Amazon has it? Okay. But that's really nice, okay. So, that's a cha-ching. Any questions on caffeine?
Heard Patsy Roma. He was getting some.
Oh, energy drinks. That's another good thing the ministers. By the way, what I'm saying, other ministers in the conference use these energy drinks to keep them awake while they're driving. And I got to talk to them about it. It's not healthy for you at all. Energy drinks. And what's that soft drink? Mountain Dew has 3 times the amount of caffeine than coffee.
That's a no-no.
Mountain Dew, 3
That's
times
a
the amount of
no-no.
caffeine as coffee. Did I just spoil tonight's supper with somebody around here? Okay. So that's a cha-ching. So, lose weight, exercise, vegetarian diet, low sodium, no alcohol, cha-ching, no tobacco, no caffeine. Number 8, I told you, all of these that I'm saying now we're already doing. According to the Mayo Clinic, a way to decrease, to live longer and be healthier is to decrease the stress in your life. Now, why are we doing that? How are we doing that, sir? What? We worship God and keep the Sabbath day holy. We worship God every day of the week, but we keep the 7th day holy. Big difference. And by doing that, we decrease the stress in our life. God knew what he was doing. It decreases the stress in our life. We live longer and healthier by keeping the Sabbath holy. not listening to the news, not reading the newspaper, not watching. Well, I watch TV sometimes on Sabbath, but I watch religious movies. Not watching the news, because that can shoot your blood pressure up. In my office, every room I play soft, non-vocal music to every room. And in the lobby, I have a big screen television screen that plays National Geographic movies. But 25 years ago, when I bought the business from somebody else, we used to have Jerry Springer and on the TV screen. And every patient I came to was like this. Their blood pressure was through the roof, and they were agitated and they were depressed because of what they watched. So as they enter my office, you can hear the soft music. It's like a spa. And I have this big screen television show, National Geographic shows going on, and each room has soft, non-vocal music. I can't have the vocal because it distracts me. So I have vocal, non-vocal songs playing. And I've found patients fast asleep in my room, in my exam room. Listen to the music, so it's relaxing. So decreasing stress is important to have longevity. That was number 7. Number 8. I'm going to make number 9. Regular monitoring of your blood pressure. Everyone who has blood pressure should have a monitor. Everyone who has high blood pressure should have a blood pressure monitor. Yes.
I got here late, so I heard you mention vegetarian diet.
Oh, you were really late.
Yes, so I want to get a little elaborate on the vegetarian diet.
Okay.
Is it the frozen foods that in the stores or the canned?
Okay, I'll do a quick elaboration. There are 3 different types of vegetarians. What are the 3 different types of vegetarians? Class, lacto-ovo, vegan, pescatarian. By the way, I taught high school for 5 years before I became a doctor. So I enjoy teaching. So there's 3 different types of vegetarians. Now, if you want to become a vegetarian, you can make your own food if you have time, or go to the supermarket and buy canned vegetarian foods. But the canned vegetarian foods contain a lot of sodium. You got to wash the sodium out and treat it differently than you would just. You can't just open the can, pour it out, and start eating. So we found out that of all those 3, a pescatarian lives longer and healthier than a lacto-ovo or a vegan. However, both 3 of them do significantly better than those who eat meat. Did that answer your question? This one?
I was wondering
Okay.
I was wondering what you meant by Presbyterian, vegetarian.
Pescatarian is a vegetarian that substitutes meat for fish. So they don't eat eggs, milk, cheese, butter, but they eat fish for the omega-3 fatty acids and the vitamin B12.
Okay, thank you.
I think you mentioned high blood pressure. I have kind of a loaded question, but I discovered that I have high blood pressure one Wednesday at prayer meeting, and one of my dear sisters like, you need to check your blood pressure, and she was right. My blood pressure was high. My doctor did not want me to take high blood pressure medication, so he told me to moderate my eating, which I did, but unfortunately he did. But I noticed about 6 months ago, I was sitting at home relaxing, and I didn't think my diet was bad, but my head started having a horrible headache. So we checked my blood pressure, and it seemed to be around the normal range, but then I started feeling dizzy when I stood up. So I didn't know whether it's vertigo. I was always told that vertigo is something that impacts older people. And I know I'm getting older, but I'm like, I think I'm still kind of young. But, question is, what is the effects of, high or low blood pressure? Because I've always heard of high blood pressure, and I know how I felt when I had the symptoms and had to go to the doctor right away. But what if your blood pressure is too low? Because it seemed like my blood pressure was actually fairly normal, but I was still having these symptoms. And when I stood up, it felt like what my understanding is like vertigo.
Blood pressure was too low. So let's talk about that in number 9. Talking about you should have a blood pressure. Everyone who has high blood pressure should have a blood pressure monitor. Now, those wrist monitors, are they accurate? Yes, they are if you do it correctly. Everybody does it incorrectly. To do the blood pressure for the wrist, which is very inexpensive, you must keep it at the level of your heart on your left wrist. It must be on your left wrist. It must be secured, relax at the level of your heart, and then it's accurate. It is not 100%, but it gives you an idea. So number one, all of you, if you have high blood pressure, should have a blood pressure machine. Number two, what is a normal blood pressure? Okay, what is the highest normal blood pressure?
Well, no, it's revised.
What's
It's
that?
now 140 over something.
It used to be 140 over
Okay,
80.
yeah.
Sorry, 140 over 90. 6 years ago, we thought that if you were not a diabetic, your blood pressure could be 140 over 90 and you'd be fine. Diabetics should have their blood pressure 130 over 80 or less. But 6 years ago, they changed and said everyone should have a blood pressure of 130 over 80 or less. If your blood pressure is above 130 over 80, you're considered to have type 1 hypertension.
Yeah.
So our goal is to have your blood pressure less than what?
130.
130 over 80. Now, what happens is that he did not want to put you on medication for the first time. If I go to the doctor, if a patient comes to my office for the first time and their blood pressure is elevated above 130 over 80, I will not put them on medications unless it's type 1 hypertension. Because it takes 2 elevated blood pressures to make a diagnosis of hypertension. So he must have brought you back and rechecked your blood pressure and it was elevated then we need to put you on medications. But if you change your lifestyle, that's why I said do not do anything I tell you unless you have talked to your doctor, because if you do what I tell you, your blood pressure will be decreased, your blood sugar will be decreased, the medication will make you drop dead. Is that too explicit? Because if you do my diet and you have high blood pressure and you take the same blood pressure medications, your blood pressure is going to go too low. So make sure you don't do anything I tell you. And by the way, that's my wife telling me as the CEO of my company that I got to make sure you're aware. Don't do anything I say unless you talk to your doctor and get permission. But talk to your doctor, and if he doesn't want to hear you, go find another doctor. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Hold on.
Oh, you ask what you do.
When you go to the doctor, why is it when they take your blood pressure, they tell you don't cross your legs?
Oh, good. When you go to your doctor, have your blood pressure done. Gentlemen, ladies, there are a number of things you should do. Number one, go use the bathroom before you take your blood pressure. If you're holding in urine, your blood pressure will shoot up. Make sure you empty your bladder before you take your blood pressure. Number two, make sure your 2 feet are firmly on the ground. Don't let them be hanging or anything. Make sure they're firmly on the ground. Number three, make sure that you don't have heavy clothing on, that they're taking the blood pressure through your clothing, because that's gonna they can't hear, first of all. So there are 3 things. Empty your bladder, make sure your 2 feet are on the ground, and think of Jamaica. I'm not joking. Relax, take a deep breath, and think of those beautiful waters. Also, don't talk. They're asking you questions, just shut up. Relax, and take your blood pressure. If one of my patients have a blood pressure of 140/90 on the first take, they rest for 3 minutes and I check it again. Okay, recheck it. And by the way, you know why I'm doing that? Remember this morning I told you about I'm being judged by insurance companies about how well I treat my patients and how they improve? I got to show that I'm giving them enough medications to lower their blood pressure. I have to do that. If they don't do that, something's wrong. Let me finish this and then we're going to ask questions. Yeah. For 2 weeks, no. Just for 2 weeks. No honey on your oatmeal for 2 weeks when you want to lose 3 pounds a week. What was that? Oh. Have you heard of white coat syndrome? I have this patient that every time he comes to my office, his blood pressure is like 160 over 90 or something like that. Every time. When he goes home and I say, go home, check your blood pressure, bring it what your readings are. Every time he goes home and checks his blood pressure in the morning before breakfast, it's normal, totally asymptomatic. He has what is known as white coat syndrome. White coat syndrome means that when you go to the doctor's office, you feel tense. What is he going to tell me? Do I have cancer? Am I going to die? And because of that, you tense up, and when you tense up, your blood pressure goes up. So I have patients whose blood pressure in the office are very high, but I don't have them on any medication because at home, I've proven that at home, the blood pressure is normal. Last thing, and then we'll go to questions. So number 10 is support of family and friends. This is what we're doing today. The last thing according Mayo Clinic, number 10 is support of family and friends. So that's what you're doing here today. We're having support of family and friends. Questions from you?
One question is, what is the normal weight for the average man and woman over 45?
Okay. Instead of me telling you what the normal weight is, I want to tell you what the BMI is. Does anyone know what the BMI is? Body mass index. As of this point here, and by the way, this is very debatable and controversial, but I got to tell you this. And it may change in the next 6 to 12 months, but a BMI above 25 is considered obese. A BMI above 40 is called morbidly obese. So a BMI, body mass index, takes into account your weight and your height. I have very tall individuals who are very overweight, but their BMI is in the 26. They're not considered overweight or having problems. So you should know what your BMI is. What is BMI is again? What's that? Ask your doctor what your body mass. If you have your height and you have your weight, you should know what your body mass is. So anything above 25 is considered obese. Anything above 40 is morbidly obese. So that's how you know if you're losing weight. Yes.
Yes, I wanted to know, what can your blood pressure run low but cause you to have vertigo?
Well, vertigo can be caused by blood pressure being low. That's what happened to this young man here. I believe you took your medications. Did you eat after you took your medications? Because sometimes it's possible for your blood pressure to be too low, you feel dizzy, vertigo. So that's why you need to monitor your blood pressure on a regular basis and make sure it's not below 100. The first number to talk about. By the way, if you're under 50, you look at the bottom number more importantly. If you're above 50, the top number or the systolic is more important than the bottom number. Yes.
Okay, the question is high-intensity training safe?
Oh, you're talking about exercising?
Yes, high intensity.
Is it safe?
Is it safe? Is high-intensity training safe? That's the question.
Well, it depends. I would not do it because I'm not trained for that. High intensity means like running. Well, I did train for it. I ran the Honolulu, Hawaii Marathon in 2011. I flew to Honolulu and ran 26.2 miles. It took me 9 hours and 27 minutes. The guy who won it in 2 hours. In fact, he won the marathon. He was from Nigeria. He flew to Nigeria, was having supper, and watched me pass. 9 hours and 26 minutes. And to tell the truth, I have the T-shirt to show it, but it was, I crawled almost to the the sun was set. We started at 5 o'clock in the morning, and there were 50,000 people. It took me 20 minutes to start. When the guy said, go, it took me 20 minutes to get to the part where the beginning was, because there were 50,000 people there running in front of me. And my daughter, Kiana, she ran with me, and I'm telling you, it was, but I have the T-shirt that shows that I finished.
You finished the race?
I trained for 6 months before that, so yes.
Next question is, what does charcoal do to the body?
Charcoal.
Charcoal.
Oh, charcoal.
Yes, sir.
Charcoal can eliminate some poisons, not alcohol, but some poisons. If you take it in and you get the charcoal, what it does, it absorbs the poisons, and therefore you can get rid of poison. So charcoal is good for you for certain poisons. But it makes your stool black, and it also makes your mouth black also. I would not take it regularly. But yeah, charcoal.
But the charcoal, if you're taking blood pressure medicine,
It'll
is there a
absorb the blood
time?
pressure.
Yeah, what time frame should you take the charcoal?
Why are you taking charcoal?
I don't know.
Just become a vegetarian. You see, okay, let me make this straight. Okay, have you ever heard of antioxidants and free radicals? Okay, the body produces byproducts called free radicals. Free radicals is like the exhaust from a car. Do you want to breathe that in? No. So you need to get rid of it. Well, the body gets rid of free radicals by antioxidants. Antioxidants are like sponges which grab up the free radicals and eliminate it in the urine, the sweat, the feces, and the air we breathe out. So we need to have a lot of antioxidants. Are you following me? Wake up! People said that I have a voice that makes you go to sleep. So wake up! So the body needs a lot of what? Antioxidants to get rid of the free radicals. You don't need charcoal. If you're vegetarian, there's minimum free radicals. Guess what contains a high concentration of free radicals? Animal meat. Animal meat, eggs, milk, cheese, butter, and animal meat contains a high amount of free radicals. So the body produces free radicals, you're eating free radicals, and on top of it, you take some charcoal pills and you take some fruit and vegetables. Well, that takes care of it. So you're poisoning yourself and taking some free radicals from antioxidants to try to control it. Does that make sense? So what you should do is become a vegetarian. Forget about the charcoal. Become a vegetarian and eat some more antioxidants. Where do you find antioxidants? What's my name? Strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, pomegranate juice. Yes. It's not just vegetables. Vegetables have no protein unless they have worms in it. Yeah, yeah. The reason I'm telling you this is because vegetarians live longer, have less cancer, less colon cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer. I know, and that's your decision, and I'm not saying against that.
Okay.
Okay. Let's sit that right on here. Yeah. This has nothing to do. No, listen to me. Hold on. Listen. If somebody's telling you that you have to become a vegetarian to go to heaven, they're wrong. Absolutely wrong. There's nowhere in the Bible that says that. As I said in the beginning here, salvation is a free gift. Ephesians 2:8. For by grace you're saved through faith. So it's a free gift. What I'm trying to say is that lifestyle also helps you with your evangelism, as it were, to live longer and healthier. So if this is carefully now, because this is going to run in Adventism, you got to become a vegetarian. You got to come to church. You got to keep all 10 commandments. You got to come to church on the Sabbath to be saved. Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. Let's put that. What's the American expression? Coffin, the nail in the coffin. Put the nail in the coffin. Nowhere. To become a Seventh Adventist does not mean you're going to be saved. To come to church every Sabbath doesn't mean you're going to be saved. That does not have anything to be saved. To be a vegetarian has nothing to do with salvation. Salvation is a free gift. What I'm trying to say is that the Bible teaches that you want to have a healthy your temple, so you don't smoke, you don't drink alcohol, you do all these things to make the temple safe. So if anybody's telling you that, you point them out to me, and I'll correct them. Okay. Where else are I going to go?
Excuse me.
Question.
Okay,
Excuse me. Okay, I've heard of the stress on berries.
I don't see you. Where are you?
Hello, I'm over here.
Oh, go ahead.
I've heard of the stress on berries, but on the other side, berries are sprayed with so much pesticides, which is accountable for free radicals.
Yeah.
And the second question is there a test to see whether or not the organic foods that we're buying is truly organic? Because I spend lots of money on organic. I don't even know if it is so or not. How can I test it?
Well, first of all, nothing is perfect, and you can get a lot of diseases from pesticides on good food. So what my wife and I do is every time we buy fruit, vegetables, we always wash them carefully before we serve them. But wash them and sometimes put 1 or 2 drops of what's the thing that Trump wants to give us in our bleach? 1 or 2 drops of bleach in the water. Yes. Okay. 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 I didn't say. The main thing is that you got to wash the fruit very carefully. Okay, I'm not a trumpet. We do not use bleach. But you need to wash the fruit very carefully, no matter what, especially if they have that thin. Okay, class. Class, yes, sir. If they have that thin on apples, have you ever taken an apple and you peel off this thin, like scaly thing on it? You got to wash it with soap and water. So does it answer your question? I can't hear you. Okay, I can't hear you.
I've heard that baking soda might be helpful, and vinegar, or
Yes,
even some
I've heard that
salt.
also.
But I want to know if I can test these things that I'm buying for so much money that they are actually organic.
I don't know of any test that does that. As I said before, this is not perfect. This is not perfect. You do your best you can. And we have questions here. Oh, she has a question. Go ahead.
Did you say wash them with bleach?
Okay.
Okay, but then.
Okay, hold on. My boss is talking here.
Okay, we do not use bleach on any of our food. Richard doesn't cook. He's not in the kitchen, so he doesn't know what I'm washing it with. So please, nobody put bleach on your food.
Okay,
Done.
but
Finish. Yes, ma'am. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, what are the benefits of vitamin D and K2 taken together?
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D and K2 for like heart.
Vitamin D, 99% of African American patients have decreased vitamin D in my office. 99% of African Americans have vitamin D. Where do you get vitamin D from? Sunlight. What have we been doing for the past 2 months? Going to the beach, laying down, getting sun. Too cold, so we've been staying inside. So vitamin D is essential for bone formation, and also it helps also with inflammation. So sometimes my patients who have your vitamin D should be above 40. That's something else you should all know. When you go and see your doctor next time, ask them what your vitamin D level is. I bet you it's going to be less than 40. If it is like 12, I've had someone that's 6 to 12, I put them on very high dose of vitamin D once a week, 50,000 milligrams, by the way, once a week, vitamin D, and I check them in another 30 to 40 days. So vitamin D is essential for your metabolism also, yes.
Does vitamin D have any impact on blood pressure? If you have low vitamin D levels, any impact on blood pressure?
I do not know of any studies that support that. But it has, especially in women's health, it's important for women's health. Yes, that's why you need antioxidants. Antioxidants decrease the inflammation of the body. But you're taking it, if you're eating meat, you're increasing the inflammation also. Yes, go ahead.
All right, the next question is, every time.
Just before you go to the next
Okay.
question,
Oh, praise
you
God.
you didn't complete what you were saying about that vitamin D. Could you just repeat that part again? for
Vitamin
me,
D.
please?
Vitamin
You were
D is
saying something
essential
about the
for
measurement.
Bone, oh, how much is it?
You said something about 6 to 12.
40. Oh, no, it should be above 40. I think it's milliequivalents, 40. So if it's less than 40, you can either take supplements. If it's really less, like below 10, then I give them 50,000 once a week.
The question is, every time I take my blood pressure, this person says the bottom number always higher than the top number. Why is that?
That's impossible.
That's what it's
impossible.
read. That's what it's read. Every
The
time
bottom
I take
number
my
cannot
blood
be-
pressure,
the
the
diast-
bottom number is always
the
higher
diastolic
than the
cannot
top.
be-
That's what she says.
That's
what
dead.
she's
That's
read.
a dead. That's not even dead. No, that's non-existent. The bottom number of a blood pressure cannot be higher than the top
Okay,
number.
this is what it says. The next
That's all right.
question is,
Go
my
ahead.
heart race all the time. Why is it? It's racing.
Coca-Cola. If your heart is racing, you're drinking too much Coca-Cola. No, okay. But by the way, one side effect of caffeine is tachycardia. So if the heart is racing, that can be a sign of either too much caffeine or atrial fibrillation or arrhythmia. If the heart is beating too fast, it's called palpitations. It means that your heart is beating irregularly. A heart normally beats like this. And by the way, when it does this, what percentage of the blood is secreted in a normal heart?
40%.
I just told you this.
50.
If a heart is beating like this in a normal heart, what percentage of the blood is being squirted out? Okay. Oh, I heard it. A student back there. 50%. Very okay. Well, in atrial fibrillation, it does this. It's beating some, but it's not doing this. It's doing this. And right here in the heart, blood doesn't flow. Because the blood doesn't flow, a blood clot develops right here. When the heart does this, where does that blood clot go? To the brain, and you get a stroke. So if you're having palpitations or your heart is being irregular, you've got to see a doctor immediately. Because it could be caffeine, but it could be atrial fibrillation. It could be something wrong with the electrical mechanism of the heart.
Okay. Next.
And so I didn't take just vinegar per se. I took vinegar with the mother. What is it? Apple cider vinegar with the mother. Believe you me, it took it down, and I never had it since. But the one thing it did, destroyed my teeth.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. And my teeth, all the bottoms here were destroyed pretty much.
Yep.
The uppers were not bothered, but that's one thing I said. It is not good for your mouth. I thought it was so good, it was doing so good, that I was taking it straight. It should not have been taken straight.
Yeah.
And I should have rinsed every time, but I didn't do that because I thought, oh, that was good for me. Okay, so I just will say to anybody who's struggling with high blood pressure, it does work, but do not take it straight because you'll lose your teeth.
Let me answer that question. Somebody you did not know, who was not a medical doctor, who did take vinegar, apple cider vinegar, for your blood pressure. But did you know this person?
With the mother.
Did you know this person?
I did, yes.
Okay, so you took the advice of someone who's not medically trained.
No, I wasn't so much that I was trusting her word. I thought, well, I'll try it.
I'm dealing with her because she's 96 years old, so I can do this with her. Okay. But the rest of you all, let me tell you something here. My mother almost died in Jamaica because some person of disrepute came to our church talking about energy white says we should not take any medications at all. And my mother was on thyroid medications. And my mother has some blame to do with this also. But he was persistent. He was not a doctor. He was just a health person. And she listened to him and took herself off of this thyroid medication, ended up in a hospital, almost died. Be careful about where you hear information. Even though what I'm telling you this stuff here now, but do your own research. Just because I say so, it might necessarily, we found out that with fluoride, bleach. Just because I say so does not mean that you need to go and do exactly what I say. Don't take the word of someone who just comes in who's not trained. Who's not trained, because that person could be doing something bad for you. Yes, sir.
Not saying anything. What could be the cause of sometimes you feel this constriction in your chest, and it's like something squeezing for like a good minute.
Oh, no.
And then it releases. So what could cause that, like a restriction in your, like it's your heart?
First thing, are you having that now?
Not now, but.
Oh, praise the Lord. Okay. No, I'm serious.
Sometimes it goes on, sometimes on and off.
A squeezing sensation is considered, it could be a heart attack.
Oh my God.
But it also could be vasoconstriction of your esophagus. It could be gastritis. However, you have a lot of stomach. You only have one heart. So if you have this that lasts maybe 3 minutes associated with shortness of breath and sweating at the back of your neck, you call 911 immediately.
Well, sometimes when it starts, it's like I can't draw a breath. I have to just scream.
You need to see a doctor as soon as possible. In fact, this afternoon, go to urgent care. Somebody record that, please. That I told her to go to urgent care this afternoon. Is it recorded? Good, thank you. Now, I'm serious. If you're squeezing sensation, shortness of breath is a sign of cardiac, something's wrong with your heart. And it could be a heart attack. It could be something that's going on. You need to have medical treatment as soon as possible. Or let them find it. Let them say it's not your heart, it's your stomach. Fine. We can talk afterwards if we're alive still. I'm serious about this. You need to go get urgent care. Okay, go ahead.
All right. The question is, what does heart flutters mean?
We just talked about that. Heart flutter is the same as palpitations. And that's a sign of too much caffeine or atrial fibrillation.
Yes, and then someone says, I hope I'm reading this right, it says, if you have AFib and you are allergic to the...
Eliquis?
It says something else. It looks like some water?
Watchman? You can't really be allergic to Watchman. Watchman is a procedure that puts a little valve in your heart that prevents the blood clot from forming. Yeah. Then you can't have a watchman. Yes, Eliquis. Eliquis is a Xarelto, or if you can, an aspirin. If you can't, but the treatment of choice is a blood thinner called Eliquis or Xarelto. 5 milligrams twice a day. The watchman, you see, in your heart, there's a little space that the blood clot forms. And the watchman blocks that space, so you will never have a blood clot in there. But since you can't have that, you've got to take the Eliquis to thin your blood. The problem is that Eliquis thins your blood, and therefore if you hit yourself, you can get a blood under the skin or hematoma. If you hit your head, you can get a bleeding in the brain, so you have to be very careful. But you're on the correct medication. Yes?
After you get 50, should you take a low dose aspirin every day? And also, is at night before you go to bed the best time to take the low dose?
Good question. 2 questions. The first one, according to literature, just taking a baby aspirin if you have no symptoms is not recommended. If you have coronary disease, atrial fibrillation, you can probably put on a baby aspirin once a day. And the best time to take blood pressure medications and an aspirin is at bedtime, because most heart attacks occur between 3 or 8 o'clock in the morning. So you want to make sure your blood pressure is under control and that the aspirin, the blood thinner is there. 81 milligrams of aspirin. That's correct. Okay, go ahead.
Next question. What is good to take for night sweats?
Well, it depends what's causing the night sweats. In a man, the night sweats could be because your testosterone is very low. Therefore, you need to go ahead and get a testosterone level. If it's a woman, age 50 and above, what could it be? Menopause. If we're menopause, therefore you got to know, first of all, you got to find a diagnosis, and then there are medications that can treat that. There's a new one out to treat menopause that is not a hormone. I'll soon remember it. But go ahead, next question. Oh, question over
I
there.
have the mic. This is my last one.
Wait, I have a question over there.
Does smoking start heart attacks? Smoking. Does
Does
smoking start heart attacks?
Starve?
Start and finish.
Okay.
Start.
What smoking does is the chemicals in the tobacco nicks the blood vessels of your heart. The valves that go, the blood supply of the heart just nicks it, makes a little cut. And when that cut is there, cholesterol forms in that cut. So smoking cuts the arteries of your legs, cuts the arteries of your heart and your brain, and that little cut makes an opening for cholesterol to start accumulating. So smoking can cause a heart attack and stroke because it causes the cut to occur, the cholesterol blocks the heart artery. Somebody had a question over there.
Yeah, I was trying to find the name of my medication. But I'm on 2 blood pressure medications. One is Losol.
Lisinopril.
It starts with an L, 75 milligrams.
Losartan.
Yeah, and then I'm on another one start with an A.
Amlodipine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I take those 2, but they say take them in the morning.
Okay.
All right, then I'm on a blood thinner style with a C.
Coumadin.
No, it's not Coumadin. It's CLO.
Clopidogrel.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Plavix.
And then I take a baby aspirin.
Yeah. There's a study that showed that clopidogrel, which is Plavix and aspirin, did you have a stroke?
Yes.
Yes. Those are blood medications that help prevent the stroke. It thins the blood.
Okay.
That's good.
All right, so now when should I take that in the morning too? 'Cause I take that after I eat. I take my blood pressure. I take the blood pressure medicines. I take a thyroid medicine. They say I shouldn't take my thyroid medicine with my blood pressure. I should tell it separate.
Half an hour.
Okay, a half an hour?
At least half an hour to an hour before you take any other medication.
Okay. All right, and then the blood thinner and the baby aspirin, I usually take that after I eat because my doctor said I shouldn't take the aspirin on an empty stomach.
Correct.
Okay, so let me see. How long is it recommended to be on that blood thinner that I'm taking?
The rest of your life.
Really?
Well, till Jesus Christ comes. And then you'll be changed in the twinkling of an eye.
All right.
You won't need it then.
Yes, I sure won't. All right, so I take those two. So because the pharmacist, I don't know what that woman's problem was. They prescribed, I ran out of that blood thinner medicine. So I said, I need a refill, and I need a refill on my aspirin. They come prescribing me a 325 milligram aspirin along with the blood thinner. The devil is a lie. I ain't crazy now. Come on now. I'm supposed to take baby aspirin. When I went in the hospital, they put me on baby aspirin with that blood thinner. Yes. Then the doctor told me I stay on it for 21 days. He said, when you come off for 21 days, when you stop taking the blood thinner, you're going to stop taking the baby aspirin, just take the 325. Well, I went aspirin, just take that. Well, I had to go back. I went back in the hospital in October. I thought I was having another stroke. Thank God it wasn't. But they put me back on the blood thinner, took me off of the 325 aspirin, and put me back on the 81.
That's because there's a study that showed the 81 milligram and the Plavix work best.
Okay. So you say I'll probably be on there for the rest of my life.
I say, well, you got to talk to your doctor.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to my doctor. I mean, I just don't want it to cause any damage in my body or nothing,
Well, it can, because it's a blood thinner. It can cause bleeding. It can cause rectal bleeding. It can cause stomach bleeding. It can cause a lot of bleeding. And if that happens, you got to stop it. But they'll talk to you about that.
Well, how could they find out if you have an internal bleeding? Do they have to do a test or something?
If you see blood coming out of any port of your body.
No blood coming in the urine, no blood in the bowels or nothing like that.
Once a year, they should do a little test of your stool to make sure there's no microscopic blood in it.
Okay.
He's doing fine.
All right, so I should take my blood pressure medicine in the morning.
You do nothing that I say unless you talk to your doctor.
I talk to my doctor first. Okay. All right. Okay. I appreciate you. Okay,
listen to this question here.
I appreciate so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, the next question, COPD.
What?
COPD. What are the causes? How to prevent it? Is there any literature for African Americans? African Americans, yes.
She can't read my writing, and the diseases that impact us. And I asked that question is because it seems like we have the brunt of all the diseases: prostate cancer for black men, breast cancer. Both of my parents passed of COPD last year, and I'm like, how could both of them pass? Neither one of them smoked and drank and did all of these things, but that was on their death certificate. So I thought, let me ask, like, what, is there any literature that we can read to kind of help identify what our main illnesses are, and if it's possible, prevent or try to reverse some of the impacts of prior lives that we've had, so that we can live better and live longer?
COPD is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Think of your lungs as a bunch of grapes. Can you visualize that? Grapes. Do you see the grapes? In COPD, one of those grapes has become an orange. Or the bottom of those grapes have become raisins. So do you see the orange? Do you see the raisins? So the air cannot get to them, and if it does get to them, it's not absorbed to the body. So you have chronic shortness of breath. There are two causes of COPD. One is a genetic cause by alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency. People who have never smoked, if they come to my office and their X-ray shows COPD, I check an alpha-1 antitrypsin level, and if it's elevated, if it's low, I can give them that, and it can cure their COPD. The other cause of COPD is smoking or exposure to smoking. Secondhand smoke is very important in regards to COPD. I have patients who have never smoked, but their husband smoked. And so they're around tobacco all these years, and they develop COPD. So yes, you should check yourself to make sure you don't have it. If you do have it, ask them to rule out genetically a cause of your COPD, if you have it.
I don't think so. But the other question was about any literature about diseases that impact us, meaning...
Google it. Why do you think, sometimes when I'm in my office, I wish I had this phone when I was in medical school. There's a lot of good and important stuff on the internet. What you have to do is do a lot of reading. But yes, there is literature on that. Just Google COPD and alpha-1 antitrypsin. Mayo Clinic. Go to the Mayo Clinic. That site is very reputable. Yes.
What can I take for arthritis in arm?
Well, you have to decide what type of arthritis is it. So is it rheumatoid arthritis? Is it psoriatic arthritis? Is it osteoarthritis? If it's osteoarthritis, you can take anti-inflammatory medication if your kidney is functioning well, or Tylenol if your liver is functioning well. If it's rheumatoid arthritis, there are a lot of medications that can be taken. You've got to know which type of arthritis it's first.
Next one is, what is a skipped heartbeat?
That's, okay, skipped heartbeat is where the heart pumps like this, and if it does this on a regular basis, it's not that bad. What it does, if it goes like this and then does this and this, that's atrial fibrillation. So skipped heartbeat that is regular is not necessarily bad. If it's irregular, it's bad. Yes?
I have two questions. Is biotin good for you?
It's what?
Biotin.
Biotin, that's...
Biotin.
Drinking it?
No, it's a pill. It's a pill.
So, what do you take it for?
Skin, hair, nails.
Does it help you?
Well, I'm asking you before I start.
Oh, you haven't started yet?
Yeah.
I'd have to research that one. Do you know anything
Okay.
about biotin? It just set her stomach.
You don't like it?
I don't know that much about biotin.
Okay. What about probiotics?
Probiotics are very important.
Okay.
Probiotics, especially patients who have had ulcerative colitis or Crohn's, you ever heard of ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease? Ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease is where the lining of the intestines are eaten away to the blood vessels and they bleed. So you have ulcers in your intestines. Probiotics take the bacteria that is, put in new bacteria into your system here. In fact, probiotics have been replaced by stool transplants. I'm pausing. People who have ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, now they transplant stool.
Who's stool?
From donors. Donors are paid, I think, $10,000 for a year or something like that to donate their stool. It's taken to a person's bed, and they transplant the stool into the other person. It is the biggest probiotic there is. It makes all the new bacteria. First of all, they get rid of all the bacteria of the intestines, and they put in new bacteria. Transplant, stool transplant, donor transplant. No, they're not dead. No, they make very good money. So if you don't want to have a stool transplant, and by the way, you do not need a probiotic if you're a vegetarian.
Who thought of that?
What it does, probiotics, okay class.
Who thought of that?
Your body needs bacteria. In fact, we're finding out now that the bacteria in your intestines tell the brain when you're full. It helps you lose weight, the good bacteria. But if you have bad bacteria in your intestines, you are overweight, you get sick, you get ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. So probiotics are, in a sense, good bacteria that you take in a pill. Goes and makes all the good bacteria, all the bad bacteria go away. If you have bad bacteria, you can have upset stomach, you can have diarrhea, you can have blood in your stool. So probiotics are good, but you don't need probiotics. You can have nuts, grains, fruit, blackberries, blueberries. All those are you don't need to take pills. Let me tell you something here. I do not like giving patients pills. I don't. I don't like giving patients pills. I do my best to say, change your lifestyle, change your diet, exercise. But my patients are lazy. Not you guys. They're lazy. They don't want to do what I tell them to do. So what I have to give them pills. What's that? No, I'm not going to divorce my patient. Yeah. Alopecia, alopecia, I know. You got to find the diagnosis first. Alopecia retinata, it is alopecia. The most common cause of alopecia is caused by a fungal infection. If you give yourself antifungal medication, you'll cure it. But that's the most common case. Yes?
I just want to get something clear.
Okay, no, we're not going to use any cleaning of fruit.
I heard bad stool. I heard all of that. So I'm about to empty my cabinets of probiotic powders. So I hope I'm not misunderstanding that you said bad stool process.
No. You see, that is why my students who stay in the back of the class don't do well. What is it? They hear me say bleach and they just turn themselves off there. Okay, no. You cannot buy stool from, well, you can, but I would not use it. You cannot buy, this is in a hospital, it's regulated a certain way. So use your probiotic, but I'm trying to tell you it's an easier way. Eat fruits, vegetables, and nuts. Become a vegetarian. Go ahead.
And this one, I don't know if we already answered. It says, sometimes I feel my heart stop beating, and it feels like I'm going to pass out. I saw my doctor. He took tests, all kinds of tests. All is well with me. Why am I getting this feeling?
Then you need to go see a specialist, because if that is a sign of syncope or near syncope, really, and that can lead to death. So whoever did that, you need to go see a doctor, and if the doctor doesn't answer the question, go see another doctor or a specialist. You need to see a cardiologist. That person needs to see a cardiologist ASAP.
Get a referral from the PCP?
Oh, yeah, or go visit yourself. Take charge of your medical problems. Yes. What?
If you're trying to cut back on sugar, which I'm on stevia, I have friends that use the Splenda with the mix of Splenda and half sugar. Is that a good thing to do?
Okay, this is from the research I've read, which is better? Forget about the caffeine. Diet Coke or Coca-Cola without the diet in it. Which is better? No. Well, I'm saying Coca-Cola without the caffeine. Diet Cokes contain a chemical that is not, the body does not know what to do with it. And it can be artificial. So I would not drink anything diet, because the body doesn't know what to do with it. So it's Splenda. Go with the natural sugars. What's the one that Leon likes? Comes from Mexico, from that cactus. Agave. Agave, not guava, Charlie. Agave, yes. Oh, you're back to the stool transplant.
Yeah, can you eat food to make stool?
All your food becomes stool.
Yeah, so why they need stool transplant?
Because it destroys the bacteria as it goes on, so you have to go the other way.
Another question. Is garlic and
good for you?
It's good because
it chases away all your friends, but it's good for you.
Okay, I juice it all the time.
Yeah, the garlic is good for you. In fact, there's a study published about 20 years ago that showed that garlic decreases your blood pressure by 8%. 8%. But some of you have blood pressure that needs to be reduced by 30%. So that 8% is good. But as I said, garlic chases away all your church folk.
And I know, because
you can't sit in church.
The ginger and garlic. So the ginger is garlic and turmeric. Ginger, garlic, and turmeric.
Yeah, all those are very good. But don't eat meat, because it counteracts what it's trying to do.
No, I don't eat meat.
Good.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Any other questions? Presbyterian? Palpitations? Vegetarian? Oh, it's not Presbyterian. Presbyterian is a religion. It's pescatarian. Like you're a pest. Pescatarian. I don't know why they call it that. Fishcatarian. I'm just saying that, not press. Okay, I have a gift.
This don't.
Okay, how about it?
Dr. Berry.
Yeah.
Any comments on turmeric or grapeseed extract?
Turmeric is an antioxidant. It's very good for you. Well, it's an antioxidant. Before, ladies, I have here 2 breasts with cancer cells in them. My wife is going to come up here and stand up here, and I'm going to give some gifts out. So come up here and feel these breasts to see if you can find the cancer. Okay, before she does that, oh man, I got to do this. Sorry. Okay, make sure each person gets one of these. I want you to know your numbers. Okay, show them how to fill it. What should your cholesterol be? Anybody? I'm tired. What? Class, what? Your total cholesterol should be less than 200. I want you to know these numbers. Class, I need you to concentrate. Your total cholesterol should be less than 200. I want you all to do together. This is something you got to talk to your doctor about. Your total cholesterol should be less than
200.
Your bad cholesterol, or LDL, should be less than
100. 100, okay.
So your bad cholesterol, or LDL, should be less than 100. Your good cholesterol, or HDL, should be above 40. So total cholesterol, class, stop looking at that. Stop, hey. Class. I know, I'm so sorry. Don't look at that yet. Your total cholesterol should be less than, I want everyone to say it. Total cholesterol.
200.
Bad cholesterol.
100.
Less than 100. Good cholesterol.
40.
Above 40.
Above
and your
40.
triglyceride should be less than 150. Your triglyceride should be less than 150. Yeah. So what I've done is I've given you this as a means by which you can do your homework. Hold it like this.
I will.
Okay, Sean is going to tell you how to fold it. Listen.
So you're getting them like this, because we didn't get to fold them yet. But you're going to fold it up, and you're going to keep it in your purse or your wallet. It has all the numbers in here. So there's the numbers of what your blood glucose should be, what your cholesterol should be. It talks about BMI. So it has everything in here, the normals. And then there's a place for you to record your numbers and keep track of it.
We have more.
One for everybody. Just one for everybody. And you can fold it like this and keep it in your wallet. Keep it in your purse.
Okay. It's coming. Make sure you get one of these. What am I doing? I'm making you become aware of your problems, not my problem. Really, it isn't my problem. It's your problem. You got to take charge of your medical problems, take charge of your health. God desires it. This is your temple of God. You don't want a temple that's be injured or diseased. Now, Charlene, talk to me about breasts. Oh, yes, moderate. That's biblical. Do you know you can die by drinking too much water? Okay.
Okay, so these are the breasts. We have two of them up here, and if you want to come up for women or men, then you want to see if you can find the lumps that are in the model breast. You're not going to poke at it, because when you poke and you're looking for the nodules, it pushes it. So you're going to use your 3 middle fingers, and you're going to do like this, and then you're going to press down. And you're going to see if you can find the nodules in there. This part, okay, so this, imagine this is under your arm. So when you're checking your stuff, you're going to check all the way up underneath your arm. So this is the part up here, because some breast lumps are up under your arm.
30% of breast cancer is found under the arm.
Okay, and so this is a kind of a cheat sheet to let you see where the nodules are in the model. Like I said, don't just poke. You're going to go like this and press hard. You're going to press down till you can feel it. Okay, so if you want to come up, you can do that. And then there's a few of these self-breast exam for her that you can keep in your shower. It's a, you can punch it out and hang it on your shower to remind you to do it once a month. And on the other side, this is like
Testicular self-exam for men.
But the main one is
Remember, ladies, yes. Granular lipoma. Lipoma is a fatty tissue. Granular is like granules in it. It can be benign. When you examine your breasts, you should put your hand behind your head and examine with the other hand. In a shower, when you lather up your breasts. Men, I've had 2 cases in the past 3 years of men with breast cancer. So especially those who have low testosterone. So come up here. Come on. Sean, do we have a lipoma is a benign tumor. It's a benign tumor. Well, if it's a benign, you don't need to remove it. But to be sure it's not a cancer, then you remove it. Because it may not be a lipoma, it may be a carcinoma.
Brother Davis. Question, Brother Davis.
Okay, I'm a heart patient, and I want to ask you, when your heart hurts, what's going on with it when it's just hurting for a minute?
Well, you got to be a little more explicit. Is it a sharp pain?
No.
A pressure pain?
Yeah, it's like an ache.
How long does it last for?
A couple of seconds.
Seconds? Okay,
Yes.
that's good. If it's a couple of seconds, it could be that your heart is, there's a blockage there that the blood is not getting through, so the heart says, ah! I'm serious. It does that.
Well, I'm on Carvalho and Entresto.
Twice a day, and Entresto?
Twice a day, yes.
You have congestive heart failure?
And a aspirin.
Maybe aspirin, yes. You have congestive heart failure?
Yeah, I have an enlarged heart.
Yeah, that's...
Yes, and I've had 2 attacks.
You definitely become a vegetarian. You have to become a vegetarian.
Well, they told me not to live by myself anymore. So
Not to do what?
Not to live by myself anymore.
That bad. Become a vegetarian. You can live by yourself afterwards.
I have vegetarians live with me.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Yeah. If you've had breast cancer where they remove the lymph nodes under your arm, you should not take your blood pressure on that arm because it won't be as accurate as the other arm. Or any surgery at all on the arm, you have to change it. Because, yeah. So
Ambulance came out. When the ambulance came out, they didn't check my arm to see if I had the thing. They put the blood pressure thing on my arm, and I couldn't talk. So fortunately, I had somebody in my house that said that, I think you not supposed to do that arm. And that's when they checked for my...
Do you have one of those bracelets? Good. They should have checked it.
When they came in, they didn't even check.
They should have checked it.
They went straight to my blood pressure.
They should have checked it. Okay. I'm tired. By the way, come up here and look at these things. Take pictures of them so you can take it home. All these books are free.
Let's give Dr. Berry a hearty amen. He just don't, we were just eating him up, and so it's good to be able to have a professional come in and answer questions. Okay, so we have a lot to learn from him, and hopefully we may be able to have more often talks like this. So we're going to close out with prayer. I don't know if some of you are going over to Trinity or not, but we're going to close out orderly with prayer. And we thank you all for staying by. We had a good group that came out for the workshop, and I hope you enjoyed your dinner. Enjoyed that. So very good, very good. So ladies, if with the breast monitor, we're going to close out with prayer first, and then y'all can continue. Let's bow our heads. Our Father in heaven, we are so grateful for you. We're thankful for your love and your mercy. We're thankful that you allowed us to still be among the living. And we know that you must have a purpose for us. Help us that we may know what we are to do. We are to share your word before the end is soon to come. Every day we see what's going on in our world. We listen to the sermon today. We know that you are coming. We want to be ready. We want to be steadfast. Help us not to be moved, Lord. Help us not to give in to the demands that's going to be put on us. Keep us ever in your way. Lord, we ask you for the blessings of our health, our reasonable portion of health that we have. Help us that we may continue to learn more about it and learn to improve our diet and everything we need to do to better be able to serve others. Keep us under your care, and we thank you for the blessings of this day thankful for the blessings of Dr. Berry and Charlene that they came down to help us for today. And we would love for them to come and move their membership here. But Lord, we just thank you for them. Keep us ever under your care. And as we dismiss, protect us as we go home and bring us back at the appointed time. In your name we pray. Amen. Oh, okay.